One peaceful night, Tom sat by the window, staring at the glowing full moon. Jerry quietly joined him, holding a tiny piece of cheese. They both sighed, not from sadness, but wonder. "I wish we could visit the moon," Jerry whispered. Just then, a soft silver light filled the room. The magical watch on Tom's shelf started to glow. It spoke gently. "One journey awaits. Just look up." Before they knew it, a beam of moonlight lifted them into the sky. They soared past clouds, stars, and finally landed on the moon, soft and glowing like snow. There, they met moon mice and stardust cats, who played music with comets and danced with stars. Tom and Jerry laughed, bounced around in zero gravity, and even shared a space cheese pizza. But soon, the watch blinked. It was time to go home. Back in their room, they sat by the window again, looking up. "That was real, right?" Jerry asked. Tom smiled, holding the glowing watch. "Best dream ever, or best adventure?" And every night after, they watched the moon together, waiting for their next journey in the stars. One evening, while chasing Jerry through the attic, Tom knocked over an old dusty mirror. But instead of showing their reflection, the mirror showed a beautiful moon palace floating in space. Suddenly, the magical watch on Tom's wrist lit up and pulled both of them into the mirror. In a flash, they were standing on the moon in front of the shining moon palace, made of crystal and light. Inside, they met a moon fox who said, "Our moonlight is fading because laughter and friendship are missing here." At first, Tom and Jerry argued like usual, but as they explored the palace, they accidentally made each other laugh, slipping on moon dust, bouncing off low-gravity walls, and even dancing with floating moonfish. With every laugh, the palace grew brighter. The moon fox smiled and gave them a tiny crystal mirror that glowed when friends were near. The watch brought them home again. Now, whenever they peek into the mirror, they don't see just themselves, they see the moon, and the memory of their magical visit. One night, Tom and Jerry were stargazing when a silver comet zoomed across the sky and dropped a glowing map in their backyard. It showed a path to a secret place on the dark side of the moon, a moon maze full of treasure. With the help of the magical watch, a glowing portal opened and took them straight to the moon. But when they arrived, they found themselves in a giant maze made of moon rocks and stardust. At first, Tom and Jerry got separated and were scared. But soon, they realized that the only way to escape was by working together. Tom lifted heavy moon rocks, and Jerry found secret paths and clues. After solving riddles and dodging moon traps, they reached the center, a peaceful garden filled with floating lights and a small box. Inside was a moonstone that glowed with warmth. Suddenly the maze faded, and they found themselves back home, with the moonstone still in Tom's hand. From then on, every time they argued, the moonstone glowed, reminding them that they're stronger together. One sunny afternoon, Jerry found an old book about space in the attic. Inside was a page titled, "Build Your Own Rocket to the Moon." Excited, Jerry started gathering parts: soda bottles, spoons, balloons. Tom noticed and laughed, but when the rocket began to take shape, he got curious too. Finally, they tied the magical watch to the rocket as the engine timer. At midnight, it beeped, "Blast off." The rocket zoomed into the sky, taking Tom and Jerry with it. They landed on the moon, soft and glowing. There, they met tiny moon bunnies who were sad their moonlight was fading. Tom used his strength to fix a broken mirror that reflected light, and Jerry used his smarts to aim it just right. Soon the moonlight returned, and the bunnies cheered. The moon bunnies gave them a shiny moon medal and helped them fly home safely. Back on Earth, Tom and Jerry placed the medal on the rocket and smiled. They didn't just reach the moon, they made it shine again. One morning, Jerry found a strange invisible watch in the attic. You could only see it when you wore it. When he pressed the button, he turned completely invisible. Jerry had fun sneaking cheese and playing harmless pranks on Tom. But when Tom found out, he was upset. Instead of fighting, Jerry gave the watch to Tom. Tom used it to sneak past Spike and fix a broken window without getting caught. They realized the watch was more fun when they shared it. So every day, they took turns being invisible, not to prank, but to help each other and have fun together. And from that day, the invisible watch brought them closer as real friends. One breezy evening, Jerry was playing with balloons in the garden when a giant silver balloon floated down from the sky. Tied to it was a note, "Ride to the moon only for the brave and kind." Jerry hopped in excitedly. Tom, curious and a little jealous, jumped in too. The balloon lifted them into the sky, through clouds and stars, all the way to the moon. There, they landed in a place called Moonville, where small creatures called globits lived. But the moon had a problem. The night sky had gone dim, and the globits were sad. Tom and Jerry offered to help. They worked together. Tom lifted heavy moon rocks, and Jerry placed glowing crystals on tall towers. When the last crystal was set, the moon glowed brighter than ever. The Globits cheered and gave them a glowing balloon charm that would bring them back anytime they wanted. Back home, the charm hung in their window, shining each night as a reminder that even a cat and mouse could light up the moon together. One night, while exploring the attic, Jerry found a glowing blue watch with stars on it. When he pressed the button, the watch whispered, "One dream will come true, every night." Jerry used it that night and dreamed he was a superhero flying through the city. To his surprise, the dream came true the next morning, just for a day. The next night, Tom discovered the watch and wished to become a famous rock star. Boom! The house filled with fans and music. They realized the watch gave them a new dream to live every day, but only if they didn't fight. So, they made a deal. Take turns, share dreams, and enjoy the magic together. And from that day on, Tom and Jerry woke up to a new adventure every morning, all thanks to the Dream Watch. One sunny morning, while cleaning his attic, Mickey Mouse discovered a small wooden box covered in dust. Inside was a golden pocket watch, unlike anything he'd ever seen. It had strange symbols, a glowing blue hand, and a small message engraved on the back. "To the next timekeeper, time is in your hands." Curious, Mickey wound the watch, and it instantly glowed bright. Suddenly, everything around him froze. The broom in mid-air, the curtains froze in mid-sway. A glowing figure appeared, an old mouse in a cloak. "Greetings, Mickey. I am Kronos, the last timekeeper. This watch chooses someone with a brave heart and a good soul to protect the balance of time." Before Mickey could ask anything, the old mouse vanished, and the attic returned to normal. That night, the watch glowed again, and a portal opened. Mickey stepped through and found himself in Time Hollow, a strange realm where past, present, and future mixed together. Knights from the past, robots from the future, and dinosaurs wandered peacefully, but something was wrong. The time crystals that kept balance had been stolen by a villain named Lord Tick-Tock, who wanted to control time forever. Without the crystals, time on Earth would soon fall apart. Mickey bravely set off on a journey across time to recover the lost crystals. With the magical watch, he could slow time, jump through eras, and even talk to shadows of the past. His journey took him to ancient Egypt, where he solved riddles and outsmarted sand traps, into the far future, where he teamed up with robot versions of Donald and Goofy, to a medieval castle, where he helped a young princess reclaim her crown and found the third crystal hidden in a clock tower. Finally, Mickey reached Lord Tick-Tock's tower, a twisting fortress made of gears and moving platforms. After a clever chase and a heartfelt speech, Mickey used the power of the watch to restore time's balance, trapping Tick-Tock in a time loop of his own making. With the crystals restored and Time Hollow safe, the timekeepers offered Mickey the chance to stay and become their leader. But Mickey smiled and said, "Time belongs to everyone. I belong at home." As a reward, the watch stayed with him, not to control time, but to remind him of the importance of every moment. Now, Mickey keeps it safely in his pocket. Sometimes it glows gently, letting him know that even ordinary days are part of an extraordinary timeline. One sunny afternoon, Tom was chasing Jerry around the house like always. During the chase, they knocked over a dusty old box in the attic. Inside, they found a shiny, old-fashioned pocket watch glowing with a soft blue light. Jerry picked it up and turned the dial. Suddenly, everything froze, even Tom. Jerry giggled and turned it again, unfreezing the world. Curious, he passed it to Tom, who twisted the watch backward, and they both went back in time to breakfast. They soon realized this was no ordinary watch. It was the Watch of Wishes, a magical item that could pause, rewind, and even grant one wish every day. At first they used it for silly tricks, pausing time so Jerry could eat cheese while Tom blinked, or rewinding to dodge falling flower pots. But slowly, they discovered that the watch could also do amazing things. One night, they heard a kitten meowing from a tree. With the watch, Tom paused time, climbed up easily, and rescued it. Another day, Jerry used it to fix a broken music box for a sad little girl in the neighborhood. But then, the watch started glowing red. A message appeared in the air. The watch was not meant for games. One more selfish wish, and it will be lost forever. Tom and Jerry looked at each other. They had grown closer through their adventures, even helping others, so they made a big choice. They used their final wish not for cheese or fame, but to share the watch's magic with everyone who needed it. The watch floated into the sky, burst into 1,000 stars, and rained sparkles down over the neighborhood. People found little bits of the magic in clocks, watches, and even bells. From that day on, time felt a little kinder, a little more magical. Tom and Jerry didn't need the watch anymore. They had something better. Friendship, fun, and a story no one would believe, except each other. One quiet night, Jerry saw the moon shining extra bright. He whispered, "I wish I could touch it." Just then, the magical watch on the table started to glow, and created a glowing ladder of light, stretching all the way up to the moon. Jerry excitedly began climbing. Tom woke up, saw him halfway up the glowing ladder, and followed not to chase, but out of curiosity. Step by step, they climbed higher, through clouds, stars, and glowing comets. Finally, they reached the moon's surface, where they found a lonely moon cat, guarding a beautiful lunar garden that was slowly fading. "Only laughter can bring life back to the garden," said the moon cat. So Tom and Jerry played, not fought, but ran, bounced, and tumbled in silly ways. Their laughter echoed through the moon, and slowly the garden began to bloom with glowing flowers and sparkling trees. As thanks, the moon cat gave them a tiny moon bell that rings only when they laugh together. Back home, they placed it on their shelf. And every night, when they laughed, the little bell chimed softly, like moonlight in sound. One calm night, Tom was playing his toy piano under the stars. Jerry peeked out, holding a tiny flute. As Tom played, a soft moonbeam touched the garden, and suddenly, their music floated up into the sky. The magical watch on the table glowed and whispered, "Play together, and the moon will listen." Curious, Tom and Jerry began to play slowly at first, then with joy. The music carried them into the sky, lifting them all the way to the moon, where magical animals gathered in silence. A grand stage of silver dust appeared. The stars dimmed. The Moon Queen appeared and said, "Play your music for the moon itself." Tom played a gentle melody, Jerry added a cheerful tune, and the moon shined brighter than ever. The Moon Queen smiled and gave them a sparkling moon crystal, saying, "For music made not in noise, but in harmony." Back on Earth, they placed the crystal near the window. Every time they played music together, it glowed, and somewhere far above, the moon listened.